Okay, welcome back to another episode of Third and 23. I'm your host, Alex, here to talk the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, give you my picks and predictions, what I'm thinking, what I'm willing to lay a significant amount of money on, what I'm willing to do a low stakes play on, what I wouldn't do at all, but just giving you what my pick is. So if you take a look at the wild card round, I went 2-4, completely different from what I did in the regular season. But I didn't pick and choose in the playoffs, right? Did let you guys know I only was really confident in one pick in the wild card round. That was the Chiefs covering against the Dolphins, which we hit on that. And this past Monday went 1-1. I took the Bucks, hit on that. Though I said that was a game that I would definitely not do. And then likewise with the Steelers Bills game, I took the Steelers with a +10, missed on that, but again, that was just my pick. I wouldn't have put anything on that. Divisional round is a little different, at least it is for today, as these are two games that I would put a decent amount of money on. I'll go more into that in a few minutes, but we've got the Ravens fresh off their blowout win of Cleveland, visiting Baltimore. And we got the Packers with the first 7 seed to ever win against a 2 seed in the first round, visiting San Francisco. So both 1 seeds for the AFC and NFC in action today. So now let's go into it. Packers, Niners. So the spread actually opened at 10. Niners were favored by 10. It went down to 9.5 when I first put this together. I just recently took a peek, and it's gone back up to 10. So all week this has been bouncing between 10 and 9.5. So keep that in mind. Now, if we're looking at the matchup, first looking at the Packers offense and how it matches up against the Niners defense, let's give Jordan Love his credit. He was cooking the back half of the season. He's playing as well as any quarterback in the NFL the back half of the season. And he's going to go up against a 49ers defense that's actually one of the best pass defenses in the NFL. The Niners, even though they lost Hufanga at safety around mid-season, they just kept it going on the back end. And it's held by their pass rush with Bosa and those guys getting after the quarterback. And the Packers running game with Aaron Jones, I mean, they've been good all year. I think you actually can run the ball against San Francisco, but they usually get out to such a lead on teams that nobody's actually ever able to take advantage of that. But I'll say this, Eric Armstead, who missed maybe the last month, maybe 6 weeks or so of the regular season, he's back for the playoffs. So he's their best run defender. That's big in the middle of the 49ers defense to be able to contain that Packers running game. So that's why I'm kind of favoring the Niners defense versus the Packers offense in this matchup. Then you look at the 49ers offense. I mean, what you say, you got Brock Purdy, who was probably going to win MVP until that game against the Ravens, going against a Packers pass defense that's not very good. It's a Packers defense that's not very good against the run or the pass. And with Purdy, Debo, McCaffrey, Kittle, Ayuk, I mean, these guys should be able to make a lot of plays for the 49ers. I'll say this also, keep in mind in the weather in this game, it's supposed to rain in San Francisco, so it'll be kind of wet out there. I think that's going to affect the Packers more because I think Jordan Love is going to be really I think he's much better in those clear skies or dome environment. So I think that rain could really affect him. And if we're talking about running the ball, McCaffrey over Aaron Jones for sure running the ball against McCaffrey against the Packers run defense, while Aaron Jones against the Niners run defense is definitely an advantage. San Francisco. And also, don't get confused. All right, I know people are gonna be gassed, and maybe that's why it first went from 10 to 9.5. The spread went from 10 to 9.5. People are gonna be gassed on what the Packers did last week against the Cowboys. Packers were up at 48-16 at one point against Dallas. The Packers are not 48-16 better than Dallas. In fact, I don't think the Packers are better than Dallas at all. And I know what the final score was in the game. I just think the Cowboys did what the Cowboys do, and that's not show up in the playoffs. I don't think there was any. If you watch the game, you could see there was no effort given in that game by either the coaches or the players. You're not going to see that in San Francisco. The Niners believe that they they would have beaten the Eagles last year in the NFC Championship game if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt. So the Niners are on a mission. The Niners are on a mission to finish the job that they think they should have finished last year by getting to the Super Bowl, and Brock Purdy got hurt, and that prevented them. So I don't think the Niners are going to come into this game lackadaisical. They're not going to come into this game with, like the Cowboys came into the game as if the game's already over and they're looking ahead to next week. They're going to come in on a mission, right? And Kyle Shanahan is certainly not going to let these guys, come in without any fire. So for that reason, uh, I'm going to go ahead and take the Niners, and I'm going to lay that. Well, when I did it, actually, I caught it at 9.5. I know it's gone back to 10, but if you can catch it at 9.5 or 10, either way, I'm taking the 49ers in that game to cover the spread. And for me, this is a game where I would put, this is a decently high stakes play to me. I think the Niners are gonna cover this spread pretty easily. I wouldn't be surprised them to win by 17 points or more. As I don't think you're going to see the same Packers performance from last week, and they're not playing against the Cowboys this week. Next game going into it's actually the first game today. It's the Texans at the Ravens. Like I said, the Texans coming off that huge blowout win, visiting the number 1 seed Baltimore, right? So this spread has stayed at 9.5 all week. Opened at 9.5. It stayed at 9.5. As I've checked throughout the week, I haven't seen this spread change. So it's remained pretty stagnant. If we're looking at the matchup first, taking a look at the Texans offense versus the Ravens defense, I'm gonna give this an even matchup. The Texans passing offense, just gotta respect it. You gotta respect C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins. Yeah, Stroud is a rookie, and yeah, Nico Collins never really did it like this before this season. But you got to give it up to both of them. They're both balling this season. And I'm also keep in mind that while the Ravens' pass defense is ranked as one of the best in the NFL, Marlon Humphrey has been ruled out for this game. Now, I don't think he's that big of a deal for this Ravens defense, but that's just something to keep in mind. They are going to have a backup corner in there. Baltimore's run defense is a weakness, in my opinion, but similar to the 49ers, these guys are usually out in front, so you don't really see the run defense struggle. But in this game, the Texans don't really have a running game. There's no running game with Devin Singletary and Dameon Pierce, or at least not an effective one. So because of that, I think it's a strong advantage for the Ravens' run defense. So they're going to make these guys one-dimensional in this game. Then you're looking at the Ravens' offense versus the Texans' defense. Lamar and these guys don't throw up a ton of yards, right? And it's a Houston secondary that will give up a ton of yards. But this is a game where I think even if he doesn't throw up a ton of yards, I think Lamar's going to be very efficient in this game. He's probably going to hit some big plays down the field in this game to Zay Flowers and that group. So I'm looking at and especially with Houston really focus on the Ravens' number 1 ranked running offense. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities from play action down the field. Keep in mind, in this game, there's some weather in this game. What was it again? There was some weather. Where's this game at? We had some, what was it? Yeah, well, it's going to be pretty cold there. A little windy. Not too windy, but it's going to be pretty cold. I don't think that's, so now C.J. Stroud, playoffs, in the cold in Baltimore, the number 1 seed. It could be a tough situation for him. I think Lamar, he's been there, done that, so I think he can handle this without any issues. And then, as I mentioned, this is the number 1 ranked running offense. I know the Texans got a good run defense, and I know their D-line is back. But the Ravens have been able to run against everyone. Good run defense or not, they've been able to run the ball against everyone. So I expect the Ravens to have success on the ground in this game, setting up play action. I think Lamar can hit some plays downfield. So I think the Ravens offense is definitely going to be able to move the ball and get some points. So because of that, and I like Stroud, man, I like DeMeco Ryans at coach, and I think these guys have been balling all year. And they're coming off a huge win against Cleveland, crushed the Browns, and I know I whiffed on that pick last week, but I'm going to do it again. They're going to go on the road, cold environment, rookie quarterback, rookie coach. Against the number 1 seed, I just like Lamar. I like this Ravens team. I another team that looks like they're on a mission, right? Similar to San Francisco, they look like they're on a mission. Lamar's on a mission to finally get to that Super Bowl. I think both 1 seeds win this week. I think both 1 seeds cover this week. Now, while I said the Niners for me at that 9.5, 10 is a high stakes play for me. This Ravens game, I'll say this is more of a low stakes kind of play. I think they cover, but I wouldn't put as much money on it as I would put on the Niners covering. But anyways, that wraps it up for the first half of the divisional round. I'll cover the Sunday games tomorrow morning. If you like this content, please like, follow, subscribe, all of that, as you're going to see my YouTube handle here in a few seconds. Take care.